Hello, welcome. Today I have another ink review video for you. This one is by Ostrich and it is a sheen ink called Ruby or Red Ruby. And let's go ahead and get this open. I have a few of these inks. I think I already reviewed one. They come in these beautiful bottles. And what I like about this is the ink is red, but you can see like a purple halo going around it. Hopefully that shows up on camera. But this should be a very high sheen ink. Oops, let me just move this out of the way. And let me grab some water. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Let's get this out of the way. All right, let's make the swatch. I got these inks a while ago, and in the photographs I thought they looked really nice. That was before I knew what a sheen ink was. So it does look very red, which is cool. All right, let me clean this off here. This is Red Ruby. This is Sheen by Ostrich. All right. And we'll just take that, get a good look at it up close. Looks good so far. I'm gonna set this under a fan to dry. I'll be right back. All right, now let's try this with some copy paper. I always like to try everything on copy paper because sometimes you're in a situation where maybe you don't have your fancy papers with you, like at work or school, and you just want to know if the ink is going to behave. Okay. There we go. That's how it looks on the copy paper. I'm going to set that down to dry, and then we'll try this on some HP 32. And HP 32 paper is also a type of copy paper, but it's smoother and the ink tends to, it tends to resist the ink, so the ink will pool, and sometimes you can see special effects on this paper. So I always like to use it because it is a good budget option if you want a nice paper but don't want to spend more. So let's see how it turns out. And we'll just see if there's any shading. And also, if there are any colors that you'd like to see me review, leave us a suggestion, and if I have it or if I can get it, then I'll make a video of it. All right, that's how that's looking so far. I think I see the sheen coming through on this paper, which is a good sign. All right, let's try some Tomoe River. And Tomoe River paper typically will show off the most of the special effects of the inks out of all three of these papers. So I always like to do a review with it. This is Tomoe River. And if you like these videos or if they're helpful to you at all, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any, and it also helps me out a lot. There we go. There's how that's looking. I'm going to check on the swatch real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. So here is how the swatches turned out. This is how it looks on copy paper. It's a really nice, rich red color. There is the tiniest amount of sheen in certain places. For example, right here in the R, in here where a little bit of extra ink was put down, it's so slight and almost unnoticeable. It kind of comes off as maybe like a weird shading, like almost like chromo shading or something, but it's just in a couple of places. So this has so much sheen that it's affecting the copy paper. So this has a lot of sheen to it. Then you compare that to the HP 32 and it looks like a totally different ink. So the red is like pretty much completely covered by this really pretty mossy green color. And you can see the red a little bit here. It creates, like I said, a shading effect where this part of the B is red and then it's green here, and the Y has a little red here and then it turns green. And it's very shiny. Hopefully the camera's picking up the light there. And this is a lot of sheen. So on the Tomoe River paper, this is even more dramatic. So it still has a lot of sheen, but it's even shinier. than it is on this one. And you still get that nice like red to green in the writing. But in the swatches, it's almost completely green. There's almost no red. But in the writing, you can see a little bit more of the red. It's a little more evenly distributed. So if you like sheening inks, this is probably a good one. Even in the lines down there, you can see how they go from red to green. It's pretty crazy. So this is a really nice one that it behaves really well, honestly. Even on the copy paper, you know, there's not really any feathering or any problems there. So if you're, I understand that sometimes the sheening inks can be a little bit more maintenance for your pen, but if that doesn't bother you, this would be a really good one. And then here's how the little swatch turned out. So this spot right here is still wet. I was getting tired of waiting for it to dry, and so I'll set this aside and let this completely finish, but the rest of it up here is dry, and you can see just how crazy. That's pretty much green foil over the top of what used to be red. So anyway, it looks really cool. You can see how it looks in the writing as well. So again, if you like sheening inks, this is a really nice one. Just make sure that you don't put a whole bunch on your swatch, otherwise you'll be waiting a long time for that to dry. So if you found this helpful at all, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave me suggestions of things you'd like to see me review. And thank you so much for watching. You have a great day.